Peace. Hey, what's going on, man? Yo, man, Facebook, man. Thanks, man, for listening to that thing with Charlamagne the God. Hey, I appreciate all of y'all, man. But let me go right into it and clear some things real quick, right? I just saw a video a guy sent to me, and he had Grandmaster Kaz. Grandmaster Kaz. You know, shout out to Grandmaster Kaz. You know, Kaz, you know, we cool. You always showed me love, Kaz. You always showed me love, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, someone just sent me a video, and I heard you talking, Kaz, about Mario and Cool DJ D and all of that. And when I heard it, I watched the video, Kaz, with what you said. Now, it was inaccurate. So let me bring you up to date once again, because you know me, Kaz, and I know you. But let me bring you more up to date of my soil and my foundation of Kool Herc 1520. Now, I heard you say, Kaz, that Kool Herc was that guy. And you not lying. He was. But we was that guy too. And our environment was hotter than Kool Herc area. Bigger and better. Kaz, you said you lived on Felon Place. You want me to tell you where I lived at? Because you said you up the block from Kool Herc. Well, guess what, Kaz? I live up the block from Kool Herc as well. When he first came out. You know where I lived at? I lived at the biggest area in Kool Herc area on Nelson and Woodcrest and Ogden Avenue with the legendary guys from that area that cover Kool Herc whole area, the legends. Let me remind you who they are. Derek Black used to fight Derek Black. Steve DeBerry looked like Mike Tyson be fighting. We all come up together. Me, Derek Black, Steve DeBerry, Boo Boo Eldris. We come from Nelson, Ogden, Woodcrest, Anderson Avenue. That's Kool Herc's area. 1974, I lived at 130 Nelson Avenue. Ladies of the world, gentlemen of the world, Google that. Google 1520 and Google 130 Nelson Avenue. And it's going to show you how far that's from 1520. Now, Kaz, let me remind you and show the world. Now, look at this. You live on Felon Place. I live right up the block from this building, up from Felon Place, right up towards on Ogden Avenue. I could walk to his building. Kaz, that was inaccurate about you talked about Mario, man. Mario was a promoter. Kaz, Mario was the one teaching me karate, 71, 72. We was in Pathmark basement. Kaz, Bronxdale Projects. You talking about 1520? He was that dude? You mean to tell me, Kaz, it's nothing over here, 1520, that little party in there, in that building, is nothing over here. River Park Towers wasn't even there. It's nothing there. The only thing he's going to go up on University from that building, the gangs is up there, the Savage Skulls, the Savage Snowman. I lived also on Grand Avenue, 176th Street. That's right near Kool Herc building too. And it was gangs up there. Not only that, Kaz, we put the black spades right above his building when we conquered that area. Because they had the Savage Skulls and Savage Snowmans over there, Kaz. You didn't know that? We went over there and dominated his whole area before he even came out, Kaz. You didn't know that? I got Karate Master Slater, Peter Williams, Guru. Now, Kaz, how are you going to say that this one building can outbeat Bronxdale with all of these 28 buildings that my mother does supervise? And we got the music out there with Cool DJ D Tyrone, the mixologist. And over here, he don't got nothing. He got to the 9 by my aunt. My aunt moved to the 9 when they built it, 169th Street and Washington Avenue. Irma Jean Pickens. Now, go to the management office. Kaz and your pioneers, you looked about the Bolden brothers and all that. They grew up with me. What are you talking about? I grew up with the Boldens and all. Me, Bolden, Eldorado, Mike, all of us, we all come up together. E and all, the illest cast from the 9, they grew up with me. My aunt raised all of them. We got Greyhound buses coming up to the 9, Kaz. 169th Street, Washington Avenue, and the 3rd Avenue. They wasn't even built. My aunt lived right there on Fulton Avenue. My aunt lived right in back of when me and Gene and them was young, when they was little boys going to public school, when they was going over there 63 Park, when they was little kids, probably in the 4th grade and 3rd grade, when me and Gene and them there. My aunt moved in the projects in 1964. They finished building the 9. It was finished. A lot of other buildings was already, some was built already up on Washington Avenue. Once they finished it fully, my aunt moved in there. She became the supervisor. So, Kaz, how is this one building you talking about? And Herc was all in there, and Mario was the promoter. What are you talking about, a promoter? Mario was a DJ, Kaz, and you even said it. You wasn't in Bronx River. You wasn't over there in Bronxdale. Well, Kaz, let me remind you in the pioneers, when you didn't exist, what was going on. Watch this. Watch this. Just listen. Never no disrespect. Now watch what I tell you. Thousands of kids and pretty girls. Pretty. Thousands of kids coming outside, and it's the summertime. It's the summertime. It's the summertime. And the girls is pretty. They live in the projects. Who ain't got no pretty girls and none of that over there? He went to the Executive Playhouse. It only could hold 175 people. The Executive Playhouse in the Hevelo, right on Jerome Avenue. So he don't got nowhere where pretty girls and everybody dressing and everything coming out with their little jeans. Nobody ain't really getting no money because it was just music. So what are you saying, Kaz? Kaz, in Bronxdale, we had Pathmark and we was robbing and stealing the EJ Corvettes. And Macy's is right in our area. It's right up the block. Macy's and EJ Corvette, Kaz. We're taking money inside EJ Corvettes and Macy's. They right next to each other. Parkchester, and you got White Plains, Castle Hill. That's Bronxdale, Kaz. Herc don't got none of that over there. Ladies and gentlemen, you see how life is? Kaz, that was inaccurate what you said, brother. Cool DJ D Tyrone, the mixologist, was out before Kool Herc. He had JJ that was down with Pete DJ Jones.
Oh, how you doing out there? We're just gonna keep bringing it all down. Come on, one time, more sweeter than the mosquito with a tweeter and a tuxedo. Mercy!
Kool Herc wasn't even out with Kool Herc. He wasn't even out, Kaz. Ladies and gentlemen, when Kool Herc came out, Kool Herc did have the title. I ain't gonna front. Kool Herc was something ill. I can't front on that. Kool Herc was ill, no question, and everybody knew it. But why? But why? Because he had this big equipment that nobody can match. It wasn't the records he was just playing. It was the big equipment. We had the records just like him. Kool D and them was playing the records just like Herc. Mostly all of us had records similar, just like her, playing the same records, because that's what everybody danced to. How do we know that's true? Because Soul Train is out, and everybody danced to the record on Soul Train. When Kool Herc came out, Soul Train is out. So when Soul Train is out, everybody gonna be dancing to the same record because that's what's hot in the United States. Chicago, Detroit, Virginia, Baltimore, California, LA. Soul Train is for the black people. Soul Train is for the black people. So any music that come out, remember the Jet magazine, anything that comes out is gonna go to all your urban cities. So how Kool Herc gonna have something and nobody else has nothing? He only just did the break beat. So he cut that, which is hot, and he had the big equipment. So Kool Herc, he was the legend. But we just felt we can beat him. Me and Africa Bambaataa and the mighty Zulu Nation. Kool Herc didn't like that. Because Bronx River. Let me show you this. Because the Bronx River, where that picture at? Let me see. I don't want too much time to go by. I showed it to you before. I can't find the picture right now. Okay? I can't find the picture right now. But, you know I always show my building. Let me remind you pioneers. Y'all know me. I know y'all. I remember when y'all came about. I was already doing the music before y'all existed in Bronxdale. So, Cash, you said you never been to Bronx, you never been to Bronxdale. So how you gonna speak on that? We had pretty girls in the summertime, Grandmaster Cash. It was crowded, and it was like nothing Kool Herc has done in no one building. And when he went to the Hevalo and the Dixie Club, that was hot for people over there on that area that was coming over there from the 9 going there. But it was a small room. He wasn't in no projects. Because he couldn't go in no projects because my mother didn't sanction that yet. Only in Bronxdale. And then my aunt let Kool Herc play on the 9 when you was young, Kaz. And when you, Mean Gene, and Flash used to come on the 9. Because Flash said he used to go on the 9. Because you're right up the hill, Boston Road, Union Avenue, you'll come right down the hill, and you'll go right over there on the 9, and Kool Herc playing over there on the 9. And you're dancing over there because my aunt let him play there. Irma Jean Pickens. Now let me remind you, pioneers, because y'all got it mixed construed. "1973, it was gangs everywhere. The Savage Skulls, the Savage Nomads, the Ghetto Brothers, the Peacemakers. Intercrime was uptown. We went up there. Katona Park, Katona, they had the ill Savage Skulls, Savage Nomads. They was real tough. The Latinos, they was ill over there. So, Bronxdale, ladies and gentlemen, we invented the black spades. We was karate experts. So what we did was, we started going to those areas where all of these gangs was mean. And where Kool Herc lived at. Before he came out, 71, 72, and 73. Gangs all over. We went over there. Remember, here's the book. I got part of the book right here. I got the book right here. I got the book and everything. Look, the book. See the book. See the book. See the book. So I'm sharing it. What happened? Here go my movie. I told you about my movie that was done in London. So let me remind the pioneers before you came out that you don't know this. Where all of y'all live at. All the pioneers from the Bronx, because we dominated the whole Bronx. Bronxdale Projects dominated the whole Bronx. Along with our partners, Patterson Projects with Chubby and all of them. They was Black Space. We recruited them, made Black Space, and we got together, and they helped us to cover more areas. So we was karate experts, and we went to every area where gangs was mean. This is what we did. Where was your pioneers then? And we had the music. And yet it wasn't nowhere around. And Kool Herc wasn't out. He wasn't out. We ain't taking nothing away from Herc. But when you talk, make sure you have facts. Why do I got all the facts? Put this in your mind. Why do I got all the facts? Let me show it. I got school records. I kept being evicted. Welfare kept moving me all over the Bronx. Kept moving me all over the Bronx. All over the Bronx. All over the Bronx. I was hungry. And I learned the skill of pickpocketing and taking thousands in the Diamond District. And on top of the World Trade Center. And Madison Square Garden. And Radio City Music Hall. And Rockefeller Center. And all the Broadway shows. And also in the Port Authority. And all the trains. The A train, the E train, the D train. And Wall Street. Well, Kool Herc was in nobody. There wasn't nowhere else but in the area. And I kept moving all around. I lived over there where Kool Herc lived. I'm from Ogden Avenue, and I'm from Nelson Avenue, and I'm from Woodcrest Avenue, I'm from Grand Avenue, and I'm from Creston Avenue, I'm from 170th Street, I'm from Morris Avenue, I'm from Millbrook Projects, I'm from Patterson Projects, I'm from Morrison Projects, I'm from the 9 Projects, I'm from Bronxdale, I'm from the Butler Projects, I'm from Castle Hill, I'm from Monroe, I'm from Parkchester. I lived up there on Gun Hill Road on Hull Avenue next to Montefiore Hospital. I come from over there, right there, White Plains, 225th, 222nd, Eden Wall, and all of that. Joe Pratt and all of them, when we went up there and chased Intercrime, and they ran in the building and ran to the roof and started throwing rocks. I'm from Gun Hill Road Projects, 73, 74. Me, Leonard, Bunbury, Scotty, and all of us, we all come up there. Charlie Rock, we up in Gun Hill Road when Kool Herc first just came out. I'm also from Arlington Avenue. I'm also from Tremont Avenue. And I'm also from Southern Boulevard. I'm also from Honeywell. I'm also from Bronx Park South. I'm also from Garden Street. I'm also from right there, Daly Avenue. I'm from 180th Street. I'm from Mate Avenue. I'm from right there, Tremont and Katona Avenue. I'm from Joe's Pool Room. I'm from over there, Fox Street. I live on 156th Street. I come from over there, right there, when you used to get off the train right there on Mount Eden. I come from everywhere in Burnside and Davidson Avenue and Grand Avenue and 176th Street. When you get off the train and come up the stairs, that's my corner building. I kept moving all over the Bronx. So where was that at? I watched all of y'all come, man. So I guess what? Drink, smoke. I want all you get high in your ways, and start telling these stories. I never slander nobody's name. I never disrespect nobody, but I know when they start wanting documents, y'all gonna have to match. So when you get with your little groups and you tell your stories and you don't got dates and times, and I got more, and I will show the world, y'all gonna have to compete with this. And what my mother did when you was babies, I'm the baby boy at a 9. 5 boys, 4 girls. I'm the baby. When I speak, I went to all the public schools and junior high schools, mostly all of them. I'm the legend. I'm that. I'm Green Eye Stan. All the girls know me all over the Bronx. All the girls know me in Brooklyn. All the girls know me in Manhattan. I didn't see y'all in Harlem. When I'm all in Harlem, legendary, when Nicky Barnes and all them was getting all the money, and I used to be at the Rucker tournaments at the Rucker. And all them drug dealers coming up there with all the money, and they just fly. And I'm coming from Midtown with crow nuts, coming up to the Rucker like this on them. To the Rucker like this. Fly. I'm not conceited. I'm telling you what it was. Got the green eyes on them. I got the apple. I got the green suede Dr. J's. The green suede. Nobody never seen that. The green suede with the green nylon on. I got my afro all shaped up. And I got the Issey Lorraine. I'm still fly today. Look at these joints right here. You're talking hip-hop and all that. You wasn't there at those spots like that, man. Everybody would know. We know when you rap. We respect y'all. Don't tell those stories like that, man. You don't know Bronx, so you wasn't there. You know why you wasn't there? Because they was robbing people in Bronx River. Now, Bronx River wasn't never really about no negative. But we had the crew, the Gestapo crew, and anytime it was trouble, we had guns. So where Kool Herc is from, the 9, Blue and all them, they used to be in shootouts with Bronx River. But I'm a legend in all the areas, so I'm the legend. And I grew up with all of them because my aunt is the head of the 9. So I grew up with the 9. I'm from Bronxdale. I come up with Bronx River. I come up from Castle Hill. I come from Monroe. I come from Tower Gardens. I come from Stevenson Commons. So we're in the Bronx that you can't find Green Eye Stan fly taking thousands, starting the culture of hip-hop. I just showed you the flyer. It wasn't no hip-hop in no 73. We was in the disco era. Where that poster at? Probably left it in the house. Hold on right quick. Where that? I hope this is it right here. Where that thing at? Let me get that. Let me get that, show the world again. I posted it before. Hip-hop 7. You ain't know nothing about no hip-hop. I left it in the house. You want to say, you want me to tell you why that hip-hop stuff came about? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Just listen. Just listen. Cash. Why nobody wasn't at the Kool Herc parties when me, Grand Wizard Theodore, Kevy Cab, Master Rob, we had the Sparkle, and you and JDL was over there at the Ecstasy Garage. And we had the crowd. We were smashing you, Kaz, and JDL, my man. But the Ecstasy Garage was garbage. Nobody never really liked it. That's why I used to have a little crown there, but that was garbage. I never liked it that. We had the Sparkle, me, Grand Wizard Theodore, Kevy Cab, Master Rob, and Busy B. Kaz, when you first came out, and you was rehearsing on Creston, you don't remember always seeing me? Kaz, with JDL, every time JDL see me, because JDL was my crime and partner. Your man JDL from the Kool Herc, ladies and gentlemen, that's my man before the Kool Herc existed. Me and JD was about money. Me and JDL was about money before the Kool Herc existed. Before Grand Wizard Theodore was in existence, I was up in Grand Wizard Theodore's house with Wendell. I told you that. Wendell grew up with Theodore, older brother, Mean Gene. That was his friend when they was little kids. Wendell. We used to smoke dust, all of that together, me and Wendell and all that. He knew I was getting money and all that. He knew I was coming from Bronx River and all that. Yo, Green Eye Stan, what's up? You be taking thousands and all that. So how you gonna beat me out? And I'm coming from Midtown Manhattan, from the Diamond District. I'm over there in Radio City Music Hall. I'm on the Broadway shows, 42nd Street, 43rd Street, 45th Street, 46th Street, 47th Street. I'm in Carnegie Hall taking thousands. I'm over there in Radio City Music Hall. I'm right there in Rockefeller Center where they do the ice skating, where that statue be like this. I'm down there taking thousands and all that. I'm in Macy's when the daughter's swinging doors in Macy's. I'm taking thousands in there. And I come up to the Bronx, and you're going to try to tell me some DJ equipment, and y'all out there flyer than me, and I'm taking thousands, and I got the music before y'all came about. You remember I told you that I brought Disco King Mario's equipment? My mother got everybody in the projects jobs. You mean to tell me you're going to keep forgetting that? Y'all wasn't even in no rapping and none of that. Kool Herc was just on the verge of coming out. You want to see the date and time also with Cool DJ D Time on the Mixologist? I got a flyer when the date is right in back of them. And it's 4 months before Kool Herc came out. And we Bronxdale, boy. And it was nice. Me, Peter Williams, Snoopy, Guru, Cuddy, and all of us. You got the girls and all of them, Sharon Burrell and all of us and all of that. Maria and all of us and all that. Karen Hughes and all of us and all of that. Lilo and all of them, texting them, sister and Maggie and all of them. We fly and all of them, Monk and all of them, Spanky and all of us, man. We talking about Sinbad and all of them, my man Dow and all of them, man. His brother Nut and all of us, man. How y'all gonna beat that on some West Side, Kaz? How you gonna beat something like that on some West Side? Nobody never saw nothing like that. We got Pathmark, the biggest supermarket that's attached to our projects. The biggest supermarket in the whole New York City is attached to our projects. We got Macy's and Corvettes. What you got over there on where Kool Herc got in 1520? He ain't got nothing over there. It was dead. He went to the Hevelo, he went to the Executive Playhouse, and then my aunt let him get on the 9. So you mean to tell me that little room, right? That's what you mean to tell me. That little room. So you keep mentioning about that little room. So, that little room, hold on. Before I go, you keep mentioning about that 1520 in that room. You keep mentioning about 1520 in that room, Cass. So, being that you want to keep mentioning about 1520 in that room, $1972. We had the better parties than Kool Herc ever had in that room. We right here in the parties, right in here. You know what I'm saying? That's the carriage room. The carriage room, ladies and gentlemen, is in the bottom of this building, but it's 28 buildings. Each building goes to the 7th floor. It's 8 apartments on each floor. We had a carriage room, and we was doing parties in each building. It's 28 of these, and we was doing the parties in there in what year? What year? But it's really before that. My older brother was doing the parties in the carriage room when I was a little baby. So he was doing that in the carriage room in 1967, 68, and 69. They was doing the parties. But also when I got a little older, we still was doing the parties in the carriage room with my sister Gwen Every, which is the head of the project assistants to my mother. Do you see what it says? It tells you right here, Bronxdale. Now, Kaz, look at the deputy signature, Grandmaster Kaz and your pioneers. What my mother did. Kool Herc wasn't even in existence. It wasn't even out. Documents don't lie. Get caught in your ways and defend someone without having accurate knowledge. Knowledge is the one that is able to help you to succeed when individuals make false accusation. And when you make false accusation, you're gonna get caught in your trap with signature from the deputy of New York City. So talk all that Kool Herc and 1520 all you want. We was better than that. We was ill. Bronxdale Projects. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with this, and I can't lie. Kool Herc was number one. Kool Herc was number one. He was. He was number one. He was number one. Because nobody knew about us. They were scared to come over to Bronxdale because they were scared. They thought that we was notorious and we was going to do something to them, but we wasn't like that. We was only fighting for supremacy to defend. So you didn't really know about us. So the glory went to Kool Herc. And we knew about Kool Herc. And we used to go like this. Mario used to go look at Kool Herc's equipment. He used to go, whoa, yo, he got the crazy big equipment. I'm going to get something like that. That's what Mario said. But Kool D was already out. And before Mario got any equipment, he had to get the equipment through me, through my mother. Because I let him get the applications and everything that my mother gave him and everything, and he gave all the kids all of that inside the project. And when the kids got their first check, he went and charged them $50 and bought the equipment. There was no such thing as your pioneers then. Ain't nobody disrespecting nobody. I respect all of y'all. I give respect to Kaz, Melly Mel, all of them that came about. See, when all that came about, then hip-hop came. Then that's when hip-hop came. But being that Herc, and they remember Herc when they was young, they give him the crown. Better get out of here, man. We gotta give the respect to Herc, because Herc was number one. He was. He had the big equipment. Herc was ill. I ain't taking that away. But we felt we was better, and we got him. Me, Africa, Bambaataa, and the mighty Zulu Nation with the Gestapo crew. We, Mr. Biggs, and all of us, Powwow, and all of them, fell asleep in death, and all that. Crazy Mike, Crazy Phil, Dolan, and all of that over there, and Spider, and all that. We was in the lobby like this. They had the guns like this in the lobby of the PAL and the 9 with Blue and all of them, and E and all of them. They had guns too, and they all like this. Yeah, what? Let Bronx River start that. And then Spider and all that, like, what? What's up? What do you want to do? And get outside and have the shootout. Where was your pioneers at? Where was y'all at then? Where was y'all at? Where was y'all at with the shootout and everything against the 9 and Bronx River and all that at the Kool Herc party when we was up in there and we smashed him? Nobody is saying that. Oh, I'm coming. And you're gonna have to stop me. And you can't do it. You can't do it. Because I come with respect. And I come with honesty. And I come with love. Most important of all, I come with documents. And you're gonna have to meet it. And when the meter, you're coming from me to show who I am and know who I am. My name is already ringing bells worldwide. Google me. Just Google the Green Eye Genie and watch what come up. Just Google me. I'm already worldwide. But I'm coming with the truth because I can't let you garnish my foundation and my legacy in who I am. So, much respect to Kaz. Just wanted to give you some correction, young man. And all your pioneers, I respect all of y'all. But you know me like I know y'all. And you know where I'm from, what's before y'all. And when you don't say it out your mouth, you're gonna be asked questions. And when you lie, that's when I'm gonna pull out page 1. With records in all the schools, and you ain't gonna be able to escape, and then all of you talk, gonna look foolish. So remember, be honest, do your research, and when you do that, you will speak things that's accurate and not fraudulent. See y'all on the next one. I got a lot more. Green Eye Genie, creator of hip-hop, taking thousands Midtown when there wasn't no money in no parks, when there wasn't no pioneers. I was down there on Avenue of Americas, living around the corner from the Empire State Building when the pioneers wasn't even out, and I was pickpocketing on Avenue of Americas down the block from Madison Square Garden in Penn Station.
Peace!